Hi everybody, Derek Christensen here. I wanted to talk to you today about how Uncle Sam can literally take all of your stuff after you pass away. Now, before I go into quite the extreme circumstance, let me tell you how to reach out to me. You can email me directly, Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawplc.com, or you can find me on my website, www.legionlawplc.com. So with that, let's dive into it. Now, that sounds kind of extreme, right? You would not expect the government to have the right to come and steal everything that you have after you pass away. But it can happen, and I actually ran into somebody who it is going to happen to if they don't get an estate plan in place. Now, I've mentioned this in my other videos multiple times, but if you don't have an estate plan, the default laws of Texas will apply to what happens to your assets. And the default laws in Texas state that there are particular orders of people who can receive these assets if you don't have a will or a trust. More particularly, it'll say, everything goes to the spouse. If no spouse, then children. If no children, then parents and I think siblings. And if no parents or siblings, then grandparents and nieces and nephews. And there's a little hierarchy where they go through pretty much the entire family tree up to I think 3 degrees or something. But there is a possibility that you run out of your family tree. And this is the woman that I met a couple weeks ago, where she is the family tree. She has no relatives who are still alive. She's kind of older, kind of wrapping up her estate and to make sure everything's good to go. But she has no estate plan in place, and she has no will, no trust, no nothing. And so by the default laws of Texas, the government, the state of Texas, will not sue her estate, but they will go through probate for her estate, and they will take everything and they will just sell it and then take that cash and spend it on the government. Which sounds pretty crazy, and you would be probably irate if you heard about that without thinking it from the government's perspective. And I don't normally play a devil's advocate, but you have to think about it from the government perspective here, because if you don't sell that house that's just sitting there completely empty now, the house will fall apart. That will affect the local homeowners. It'll make things look bad. Property values will go down. Property taxes go down, et cetera, et cetera. If a car is blocking a driveway and you can't access, all sorts of things. And so the government would quite literally go out of its way to make sure it can take all that stuff and make sure it's used for the public utility, the public good, if you will, if no one else can claim it under the law. And only family members can claim it under the law. So that's all to say that it is very, very important for this particular person, but pretty much everybody, to have an estate plan in place. Knock on wood, your entire family tree doesn't die in the next, decade, but it is entirely a possibility. And if you are in that circumstance, or if you have family members who are, your great uncle's niece twice removed, you don't want them to receive everything, you'd rather your best friend receive everything, then you need a will, you need a trust in place to make sure everything goes to those people that you want rather than the far-off relative you don't care about, or even the government. So that is all to say that the government can take your stuff. It doesn't happen too often, I'll be frank, but it is entirely a possibility, and it is also entirely a possibility that your stuff will go to whomever you don't want them to in your family tree. So either way, a will, a trust, can't go wrong with that. A will, at least, is still better than nothing. And in this particular circumstance, that's what I told this lady. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions on that front. If you're worried about Uncle Sam coming over, I guess Uncle Texas Sam, whatever the government's version of Texas's Uncle Sam version is, he'll come and steal your stuff unless you come figure out your estate plan. So send me emails, send me questions, commentary, feedback, whatever. My email is Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawplc.com, or you can go onto my website on the Contact Us page and schedule a free consultation over the phone for free at www.legionlawplc.com. So with that, have a great day, and thanks for watching.